Happy birthday, genderlings. So here my story begins. The name. What is in a name, friends? What's in a name? Everything. And the lady who was standing with you right now, Kubeshni Govender, gave us the name, Genderlinks. Give her a round of applause. Because Genderlinks began with me, an intern, a wing and a prayer. Our first deputy chair, who's on the line with us, I hope she's still there, Dr. Talia Molokome, former High Court judge, former Attorney General of Botswana, now ambassador to Geneva for Botswana. She was very worried, by the way, Kubi, when there were no awards coming up for Botswana. Story for another day. Dr. Molokome used to say to us, I don't want to know what you're against. I want to know what you are for. What are you for? And she sat us in a room. What are you for? And we came up with these two words, equality and justice, hence our strapline. Genderlinks for equality and justice. Simple and clear, yeah? And because of that, we were able to come up with our theory of change as required by donors and others to begin to articulate what it is we do and how we do it and who we reach, going from the individual to the household, to the community, the local government level, all the way up to the policy level, up and down, making that change. 20 years on, we have offices in 10 of the SADC countries that you've seen here today. We work in over 400 municipalities. We have raised 513 million rand for the work on gender. We have reached, wait for this, 168,407 to be precise, Fanwell, beneficiaries during this time. Our first slogan was given to us by our chairperson, Sistenjwe Mtinso, my personal mentor and great friend. And that slogan has transformed itself into all kinds of different slogans, making every voice count and counting that it does. Stretching the 16 days to 365 days. I'm going to claim that as a Genderlinks concept because it is. Yes. And one of our staff members once famously said, if we have enough I stories, we will get a we story. What is not counted does not count. The SADC Gender Protocol Alliance, bringing together women's rights organizations across the SADC region in 2005 at the time of Beijing +10 to say, sisters, it's not happening. 10 years after Beijing, it's not happening. We borrowed, of course. We can't claim this one. Yes, we can. But hey, we made it better. We said, yes, we must. If ever there was an indicator of Genderlinks' resilience, it has to be how the cottages have sustained itself during a pandemic. They refused to be locked down. They refused to die. Chirambok Tsakar, yeah? They just refused completely, and they just kept going. And then we have many other people who've gone on to be so famous. So Zohra, whom you're going to hear from, is now a policy advisor at UN Women, and she started as an intern at Genderlinks. We're so proud of that, yeah? We have people like Danny Glenride, who can't be with us today because he's recently become the president of Save the Children Canada. And at Genderlinks, we are very proud that the average length of service of our staff is 6.5 years, which is double the global average. Emily Brown, who's with us in Namibia, who's worked with us on our media work, embodies for me another of our favorite sayings, which is, don't get angry, get smart. I've never seen Emily angry. Has anyone ever seen Emily angry, ever? Never. She is the epitome of that soul, that heart that keeps us together and that keeps us focused. It may interest you to know that Kubi and I first met around a rather ambitious campaign called the Strip the Back Page. And I'm famous, by the way, for having been the Mampara of the week. I wear that label with pride, Sunday Times. Kubi was called a lesbian, couldn't find a husband, and all these sorts of things. But that's how we met. We learned to be cool and level-headed about funding. In 2017, when things got so rough, and it looked like we might completely perish, we decided not to get angry, but to get smart. And that's when we put together the Future Fund, the SADC Protocol on Gender and Development. We campaigned for it, and we coordinated. And without it, that instrument would not have happened. It would not have transformed itself. It would not be monitored and evaluated. It would not be known. It is the best known of the SADC instruments. Let's give ourselves, the Alliance, a round of applause. Putting gender on the local government agenda, what you saw in that video as we came in. Truth is, 10 years ago, this was simply not being spoken about. Now we have municipalities with gender champions who are talking about mainstreaming gender in the work at the local level. Isn't that an amazing achievement? We cannot keep talking about violence against women. We have to start talking about how to empower women, how to give women choices, so that they can decide what they want to do. And the biggest test of all of this came during a pandemic. We did not lock down. We continued working. We are here today. We have had our first regional summit virtually. We made it happen, yeah? Because of that resilience. Let's give ourselves an amazing round of applause. There they are, yay! We need to move together with the men. 35% of our board, our staff, and all our beneficiaries always have been men, many of our partner organizations as well. So we are proud. And the men in the house, can we see the men in the house? Trevor's here, African fathers. Zambia, you've been well represented in Gender Links. And our first male chairperson, Dr. Ndulo, was with us almost for 10 years. Had a wonderful saying, and Muna, you will not believe how many times we remind ourselves of the saying. It came from your mother, you told us that. And his saying was, work never betrays the worker. But at the end of all of that, we live and learn. And most importantly, we count our blessings. Kubi, when I think of you, I think very much of our other saying that we have in this calendar, a stitch in time saves 9. We have lots of stitches that we could have done before this event that would have saved 9. But because we had plan A, B, and C, and D, we were still able to get where we are. And I think could be big picture. That's another of my sayings, big picture stuff, yeah?
Yeah. 17 years of mentorship, of support, of helping me grow. So I'm not intimidated to step into this role. I probably should be, but I'm not. Happy birthday, Gender Links.